Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders, let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, cause they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny,
201 Friends and Rivals podcast back on the mainland of the United States. Oh, hello, boys.
Hello.
We were always on the mainland. Yeah.
Well,
Some of us were. Those of us who
everybody's
didn't.
now back on the mainland.
Those of us who didn't take the illegal payout.
Listen, it's not my fault that it just didn't find your inbox.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I called and complained, but I got somebody's answering service. I left a message.
I'm
They
sure
didn't call you
did.
back?
Was it with the Nigerian prince? Because I completely disregarded his email.
Yes, it was.
Crap.
Oh, man, Bill.
Damn it.
You should start trusting those guys a lot more.
I know. They're missing out.
Speaking of missing out, NHL gets dead with these Stanley Cup playoffs. It's dead because none of our fucking teams were in it. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks, bam, the NHL explodes and then has gone into hibernation for the summer now, which we will be as well. This is our season finale. But listen, we missed last week due to unfortunate circumstances. We didn't really talk about the draft. So, Nick, I mean, this is your segment, buddy, because I got to tell you, I could give two flying fucks about the draft.
I mean, that makes sense. You guys had no real care. I mean, you guys got picks and everything, but it's just not.
Yeah, and you got this guy in the second and the third round. Oh, he's going to be such a player. Really? Is he? Is he going to be such a player? He's not going to be such a player.
Yeah, for viewers, Tom does not care for the draft normally. I mean, unless you have like the top pick, you don't care. I would be surprised if you cared if you had a top 5 pick that wasn't the top guy.
Top 5, yeah. I'd be excited with that because that means our regular season just sucked ass. And I was pissed off the entire year. Absolutely right. I'm looking forward to the draft for new beginnings. Absolutely.
Fair enough. So yeah, Isles had the top pick. I've been talking about it for weeks and was excited, surprisingly that it happened. And then right before the draft, like I had said before, Dobson was always going to be the first thing they had to do, probably before the draft or right after the draft, and they had to figure out what they're going to do with his contract, if they're going to sign him, re-sign him after a really shit year. Were they going to give him the big bucks? And they said no. They weren't going to do it. Shipped him to Montreal for 2 picks, and it ended up being the 16th and 17th pick in the draft, and as well as a Emil Heineman, who is a 23-year-old. He was an RFA. We signed him for 2 years at 1.1. He's like maybe 4th liner, 3rd liner. Kind of. I'm not sure what we got this guy, but sounds like he's a people in Montreal liked him. One of those kind of high motor guys. So we'll see if that ends up being anything useful. But the most important pieces were the 16th and 17th picks. Isles were trying to move up to later higher in the draft to pick up Hagens, who was obviously a target for the Islanders as he was a kid from Long Island, and there was a lot of mutual, I would say, want to play for the Isles. And in the end, didn't happen. Isles were picked Schaefer, no surprise there. Everyone was expecting that to happen. I was in the car on the way up to Jersey, so it was like a whole real pain to watch on the ESPN app because it would randomly just stop working, and then you have to like freeze load it.
Terrible app.
Well, hold on.
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad because of the app. Okay.
Oh,
the NHL draft was insanely bad.
That's true.
Well, yeah, I would say that. Okay, so we should talk about that briefly. It was a really interesting idea to do the decentralized draft. I think the second part of it though was having, so basically there's nobody there. It's just a big crowd. right? The teams aren't actually there. They're calling in like every other, like the NFL draft, or you don't see, and they do camera views to all the different
Yep.
teams while they're drafting. But of course, if you watch the NHL ones, it's the dumbest thing. They're all sitting there like this, in a big circle, not moving, like they're afraid to move. Very strange to watch on TV. But then they had that whole great idea. And it started off just like this, right? Isles pick the first pick. They pick Schaefer. Schaefer walks up, gets the jersey, sees that the Isles put on the breast cancer awareness patch on the jersey. He sees it, he kisses it. He gets super emotional, starts crying a little bit while he's walking, and it's like, oh, what a great thing. And then he immediately
Before you go to the negative, that was really fucking awesome.
It was awesome.
Your team to do that. That was fucking awesome.
It was great.
Good for them. Now fuck the Islanders.
And they put his the initial or his mom's initials in his in the soda in the back. He didn't see it until later on, but really nice, really nice gestures. But and he's kind of mic'd, as we can hear kind of like, he's like, mic'd a little bit, walking over, and then they just have him walk with Bedman into this strange room. It's a giant Zoom conference call with the Islanders brass, and then you're like, oh, now you gotta talk, and he's like, hold on, sorry, and it's like the 17-year-old kid trying to say hello, and then the Isles brass are looking there like a bunch of dorks, like not moving, and then trying to do the whole, the call is desynced about 2 seconds or so, whatever. So they're talking, and oh man, that was not a great look by the entire NHL, because as that was awkward, they continued the entire process throughout most of the first round, and then in some cases, like when Boston made the pick for Higgins came up and they were frozen. Their side was frozen, so they're sitting there just waiting for it to do it. And I think Higgins was like, "Hey, what's up?" like after like a couple seconds, like nothing's going on, and like, "Oh, we're having difficulties." But I will say the host that was asking questions, like she would walk up and ask the questions to back and forth, was really good, because she had to be really on the fly because it was fucking up constantly. She was like really doing a good job, I felt, of like keeping that
filling that time.
Yeah, trying their best. I mean, I can only imagine how much those guys were sweating, with that kind of craziness going on.
They were using Zoom, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm so happy that we decided to stop using Zoom. So happy.
But thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. It's good. It's good.
You appreciate it?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, do you? Do you appreciate it?
But I would say the next part of the draft, that they would do that little thing, and then they would have them come over and talk with like them. I thought that part was a good idea, like talk, and they've done that for years, but it seemed to be a little better. I maybe it was because there's the people doing it, like doing the interview with like the families or the people, and like some of these people are like they don't even speak English, or they're just really boring. But they did a good job of getting that through. I thought that was okay. But the biggest problem to me, aside from all that awkwardness, it was friggin' so long.
It was
I
long.
think it made like 4 picks in the first hour. It took forever. And I'm sitting there and I had to wait because I'm like waiting for pick 16 and 17, and I'm like, holy shit. But that was a long wait, because every pick I'm waiting to see if there was gonna be a trade, to see if the Isles could swing back up. Obviously, it didn't happen, which was not plan A. Plan B was then to use the picks. So they used them to pick 2 players. First, they picked Victor Eklund at number 16. He was the number 2 international prospect, I guess, this year. When they always do like the IHF has like their rankings, like they do North America and then they do like everybody else. And so he was like number 2 behind Frondell, who went the 3rd overall to Chicago. So a Swedish player, 5'11", dropped apparently because of his, I guess because some teams don't want to draft a guy that's 5'11" that high too often, unless they're like superstars. So apparently he's got a great motor, played really well, speedy guy, really good skills. So can't go wrong with that. And then they followed up with the next pick with a 6'2" defenseman, throwback kind of defenseman who is a monster hitter. Tom is going to absolutely hate this guy. I mean, you guys, we've been ragging on him.
Can't wait.
We've been ragging on him for Trouba forever. This guy is a monster. He goes for big hits. And he's going to be interesting in about a year. So Kayshawn Aitchison is he looks like he's going to be a fun player to watch. And now the two defensemen they drafted with Schaefer and Aitchison, they're both lefties. So that's going to be they're not going to be right away coming in. They're defensemen. They're going to have to figure out the right side. I think more over time. And then I say the only other pick I'd care about was they picked this kid, the 6'6" forward, Daniil Prokhorov, who apparently looked really good in the blue and white scrimmage, during the developmental camp. He can skate. And one of the big themes was everybody they drafted pretty much is physical and can skate. And that's a big theme, it seems like, with what directionally Garch is going with the team. And so we'll see how this goes. All four players, I don't think any of them are going to play, next year in the NHL. I don't think Schaefer's 17. He's 6'2", but he's like, 180, 190. He's a kid, man. He's a kid. He's not going to be there. He might. I've been hearing it. Maybe some of these guys might go into a year of the NCAA. Maybe there's some sort of there's something where they can go play there. Maybe play up a level, as opposed to going back to juniors and playing juniors. But I would imagine I don't think he's going to make the team out of camp.
Well, they would be trapped in juniors if they went back there, right? They wouldn't be able to just freely come up. They would either be able to come up entirely or they're just in juniors entirely, right? Isn't there like a 9-game grace period, something like that?
That goes either way, whether they're NCAA or not. They can play.
The 9 games is fine either way.
Yeah,
but
once they sign the professional contract, they can't play NCAA games anymore.
He hasn't signed a contract yet, though.
No, I got that.
I think that's what's going to happen.
But it's the difference between juniors and college hockey is that you're not trapped in college hockey. You're trapped in juniors.
Right.
And you can't go to the AHL affiliates or any of that shit.
Yeah, and I think that's the part of the reason why, they would maybe go for a year somewhere. But we'll see how.
That kid McKenna, who's supposed to be the number 1 pick next year, or McKinnon.
Yep.
He's going to Penn State next year. So there you have it. There you go. He's not going to juniors. So is he American or is he?
No, it's Canadian. McKenna. He played for Canada. Yeah, Canada.
Canada, eh?
As somebody who didn't watch the draft,
consider yourself lucky.
Since everything in this league is sponsored, was the communication brought to you by a specific company? Because I would just feel bad for them that
it's probably
they
Cisco.
Sponsored the shittiest part of the whole draft.
It was probably Cisco. I don't remember because I was not really paying attention to that part of it, but it was somebody. They had because they had the whole room and it probably had a sponsor on it. I'm sure I can look it up.
How much do you if my team wasn't in the draft at all, and Steve, yours had a late first-round pick?
No first-round pick.
Oh, no first-round pick.
No first-round.
So I can speak for myself in saying I had absolutely zero interest in this draft.
I suck.
Zero, because my team just wasn't in it. And you know what? If we were picking 15th, 16th, 17th, I don't know how into it I would be. I don't know. The draft for me is just, it's a crapshoot. It's just an absolute crapshoot nowadays.
And in this day
you don't know what the fuck you're going to get.
There's no need to watch it because you just follow along online, and when your team picks, boom, all the information you want is right there in your feed.
Yeah, but the only reason the NFL draft works so well is because everybody wants to see the NHL or the NFL rather, the NFL.
But those players are coming in and making an impact in year one.
And immediately, correct.
They're on the team.
Yeah, they're also making insane.
And same
deals.
thing with NBA too. Those guys play the very next. Well, most
of them, but good. No. Like minutes, not a lot of minutes every guy.
The NHL, a handful of these guys.
It's like
start.
a baseball draft. It's like
Yeah,
MLB.
Yeah, it's like a
that's
baseball
exactly what I was
draft,
leading
yeah.
up to. No one gives a shit about the fucking baseball draft. Why do we still care about the NHL draft?
Well, I would say they're much better at just figuring out who is going to be good these days. But I think there's
have you watched? Maybe it's just the Rangers because
I
haven't
tell
seen
you,
that.
I
haven't
just
seen
did-
that at all.
I just did
Well, I
a
mean,
quick
They are
search.
not getting better.
I just did a quick little task, right? Of the 20 regular players that are going to be on the Devils next year,
Yeah,
8 of them were drafted in the first round.
it's the most important by far. The first round is the most important, bar none.
Then it's 4 in the second, 5 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 2 in the sixth.
Yeah, I mean, the further down you go,
Right.
it's like I mean, I would say after first round, or maybe even half the first round, the drop off is massive in terms
Right.
of like
In terms of players that will make it. Right.
Right. It's not a guarantee. There's no guarantees anywhere, right? I mean, every draft is different. You got
Yeah, it
years
could
like
be Hugh Jessamine.
you got the years like 2003 and
Thanks, bud.
2015.
I was still looking at Hugh
those years
Jessamine.
where every player except for like
It's
one
all
or
he's
two in the
got.
whole round.
Really,
right?
all he's got.
Yeah. But no, but like the second round, like that's why the second round through seventh is not it's on. You can watch it.
It's on NHL Network.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
I
I think
watched
it was on
a little
ESPN
bit.
this year, but like they were talking over the picks as it was going on.
Yeah, because it takes a few hours to go through,
Yeah.
and it's just you don't know any of these guys at a certain point. The only people in the room that know those guys are some of the guys that are actually there to be drafted, and the scouts. They're the
And the
only
scout,
people that have been
yeah.
watching them, right? I mean, the diehards know some of these guys, but like I don't know, you have to be like a little crazy to watch, some of that stuff, unless you're watching OHL and if you're watching the junior majors.
Or you
Major
live
juniors all the
live
time.
in that podunk city that the guy was playing in last week
yeah,
in front of
if you watch-
4,000 people.
If you're going to OHL games, you know all the players, sure.
Yeah.
But like there's multiple leagues, WHL, OHL, forgetting one of them.
CHL, Quebec Major,
CHL,
Junior, yeah.
And then you got obviously Sweden, you got Russia, the KHL, you got all sorts of things, the NCAAs, and there's a lot of leagues and a lot of players. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot to kind of take in when you're just a casual. But you guys are right. Like, it's not like watching NCAA football and
Right.
seeing like, the Heisman winners or like the best teams there are like stacked, and half the team is like seniors going to be drafted in the first, second rounds. Right. Like those guys are all monsters, and it's not quite the same setup in hockey because there's just so many intangibles where players play, and there's so many leagues. It's not just like Division 1, 2, 3.
I like the idea of just having the draft be complete social media, just online.
Right.
That's it. We don't need to announce it. Just that's it.
Every couple of every 4 minutes there's a tweet.
Why win
Go
conference?
short,
Yep.
go short, go short.
Is that better? I don't know where the microphone is
Background.
on this thing, though.
By the way, it was Zoom.
Like,
It was Zoom.
As long
Zoom
as
was
ESPN has like 4 networks, though, they're gonna put the NHL draft on something and the baseball draft.
oh, they need to put it on the Ocho. That's what they
Ocho.
need to do.
Where the player has to dodge dodgeballs on his way up to the fucking stage.
See how nimble you are, pal. Let's see how those agile scores rank up.
Throwing wrenches at him.
I don't know. Wrenches might be a little strong.
Nah.
Wrenches might
Dodge
be
a
a
wrench,
little
you
strong.
could dodge a ball.
That is true. That is true. That is definitely. What
If the guy who gets drafted can get up to a certain spot on the stage without getting hit by one of the dodgeballs, right? Then he gets the option of staying with the team that picked him or going back into the draft.
I like
Holy,
it.
that
I like
ratings
it.
gold. Ratings gold.
I like it. All right,
That
who
I'm watching.
no doubt. So, who did the Penguins take with the Rangers pick?
With
Because
the
that's the name.
Oh, wait a minute.
Who's going to torment Tom?
it all it all gets
Well,
very
I'm doing this-
confusing
I'm-
because the Rangers pick got traded to the Flyers.
Oh,
And
Well, yeah.
then and then the Penguins
that's
cashed
right.
that into 2 picks. So basically the 2 picks further down in the draft, the 22 and 24, they picked Bill Zonin and William Horkoff. Bill Zonin, who was coming from one of those junior leagues, and William Horkoff, who's going to be at Michigan next season. I think he was at Michigan last season too.
Two guys named Bill. Wow. All right.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Who the fuck? I meant to remember
William
what
goes
that guy's
by Bill.
name from the Flyers. You're right, Bill. I forgot that fucking pick went to the Flyers. Stupid name.
Bill, yeah, I agree.
Well,
Bill is a stupid
Jack Nesbitt is the name. Jack Nesbitt.
So is that the guy we're going to be now following to make sure?
That is but he's on the Flyers, so fuck the Flyers.
Yeah, but still.
Fuck the Flyers.
Fuck the Flyers.
Fuck the Flyers.
Everything they're about. I met this one guy in Hawaii. He was wearing an Eagles hat, and he just disgusted. I was like,
Yeah.
You're not even a fan. You're not even a fan. You live in Hawaii. How can you be a fan? Please. Exactly, Brian. Exactly.
He lived in Hawaii like he wasn't like on vacation?
By the way, no, he what do you mean? No, he was, he worked at the hotel.
Oh, fuck him.
Indigenous. Yeah. Indigenous Eagles fan in Hawaii.
But listen, before I forget, I have to thank our littlest listener for all of his help with the real work we had to do today. So thank you, little Brian, for helping me today. I appreciate it. And our very own Stephen Wojtowicz. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, good job, Steve.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Stop whining.
Really, I jerked around at work all day today.
You did what?
I just jerked around at work all day today.
Oh, I can actually hear you getting fatter.
Never mind. Good Lord. Where's the I don't know where those jingles are anymore. Oh, there it is. All right, we're gonna take a ride on the Metro.
Haven't played that one in a long time.
Season finale edition. Free agency edition. And we are gonna start with our beloved Penguins.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What
monster
was
name
that?
did the Penguins get?
I just want to say after free agency, what the fuck was that, Dubas? I mean, Jesus Christ. The last few years, obviously Dubas came in. Since Dubas came in, has had his hands tied all the free agency seasons because he's been up against the cap. He's had to work, he's had the things that he's worked to get players has been like moving salary here and picking up salary elsewhere, not really making free agent splash, So we had like $20-some million in cap space to, for the free agency this time. So you want to hear who we got? I guess that's what you want to hear.
Yeah,
all right, that's awesome. Let me go over the list.
What's the big Bill? What's the biggest name that the Penguins signed? Free agency, not re-signing.
So a guy who wasn't on the team last season that they signed in free agency is Anthony Mantha. That's the big name. Anthony Mantha.
Big tall guy.
Yeah. So they and the other guy, Parker Witherspoon, can't lose there, right?
Oh.
Wait. Who?
Connor Dewar, who was on the team prior, Philip Tomasino, who was they let them go to unrestricted free agency. They re-signed those two guys. So Witherspoon, Dewar, Tomasino, Justin Brazeau, Caleb Jones, Anthony Mantha, Raphael Harvey Pinard, Philip Kemp, and Alex Alexeyev. Watch out, league. Okay. We are coming for you.
I think Harvey Pinard was a made-up name. I think he just threw that in. I don't think that's a real player.
I used to call all of them hyphenating something when they did that. But
and you traded Nedeljkovic, right?
And we traded Alex Nedeljkovic to the San Jose Sharks to free up more cap space to so that we it's just
not do anything.
We got like 16 million sitting there that we're obviously not going to use. I guess that gives us some flexibility just in time for when having cap space is not in demand for anybody anymore. That's really good.
So wait, so you have $16 million left to spend?
And I believe we're going to go into the season with that much. Yeah, big doings there. Fun stuff.
What are they doing in Pittsburgh?
You got me. I mean, I would think we would be trying to put the best team out there that we could put out there. There's not a reason. Like I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, we're going to make the playoffs, and I'm not saying go to the limit of the salary cap and like handcuff yourself. But I mean, Jesus Christ, add something more than
$16 million, bro.
Nobody is more excited about that $16 million than Devils fans, because they're just hoping that with that leftover money, somehow there's a trade that we send Palat with whatever sweetener out to Pittsburgh.
Sure. I mean, if you're that much against the cap, are the Devils really that much against the cap?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How were you that irresponsible? You got all this extra money going into this year. Good Lord.
Dougie Hamilton.
I don't know.
They currently have just under $7 million in cap space, and they got to re-sign Hughes. So they got to free up some space somewhere. But I'll get to that.
Well, yeah. Give us a call. Because I don't know what else we're doing.
But they publicly said that they're not going to re-sign Malkin probably after this season. Carlson has been on the block for a year, and really no one. Yeah, I watched Carlson play last year, but man,
no one even wants him at a discount because I mean the Penguins would easily eat a salary because they got all the cap space in the world. They would just move him, and nobody wants him. Yeah.
All right.
So so we can go on to the next team. The Penguins. Nothing. Just all this time waiting for a free agency where we can go out and do some shit, and nothing. Just nothing on this one.
You were just waiting for the ability to do something with flexibility in the cap, and which you have.
Yeah.
All right.
Could have signed fucking Marner and had like plenty left over.
Well, it looks like you guys are on McKinnon watch for next year then. Not Nathan McKinnon, but the other guy in Penn State.
Yeah, and that's why, that's why too. Like, there's no sense in this day and age being shitty in the hopes of trying to get like some draft pick because like the fucking Islanders are going to have a 1% chance at getting number one in the draft, and they're going to fucking get it. Like, or some other team could just move. Anybody can move in, so there's no point tanking.
Yeah, all signs are pointing though the Penguins to have that number one pick.
They'll rig the draft for you guys.
Exactly.
Well, obviously,
exactly.
I mean,
it's coming.
I'm not
you
averse
guys
to that.
Know it.
Third time.
It's coming. They're due. They're due a superstar.
It's been a while. Third time.
All right. Well, it sounds like the Penguins are done.
Garbage.
Nick, Islanders.
Well, it's been fun having a not senile GM run the ship, because lots happens. Lots happens when you're basically like lots and lots of decisions to make, things to have to do, blah blah blah, right?
I have to tell you though, I enjoyed giving you so much shit about your first year GM. And listen, the outcome remains to be seen, but
of course,
good set of balls on him to make your first splash with a team. I thought,
man, lots of things happening, man. Just goes and the first two big things you had to do. I said it a bunch of times. Dobson, first overall pick. You got to make those two massive, franchise changing decisions, right? Number one D-man, do you see the guy? Do you put the money into him or not? And then obviously, who do you make the pick? And it seemed like the pick kind of made itself happen. Schaefer just wowed everybody. And then Dobson, hard to say what happened behind the scenes there, but it was a lot of smoke that he wanted 10.5, and he signs for 9.5 over 8 years with Montreal in the end. But I get the feeling he wasn't happy, obviously, where he was, and in the end, that could be very much a win-win trade for everybody. Dobson could go right back to how he was 2 years ago and play next to Hudson. That's pretty good. Couple guys to if they're both playing really well on your back line. And obviously Montreal's got a ton of young kids. They're They're on the way up. It's going to be a great place to play. Also, though, we'll see how that. I'm really interested to see how that plays for him when he doesn't play well, and if he will, how he'll deal with the pressure.
Fold under the pressure.
It'd be very interesting. So, anyway, Darch made a bunch of things have happened. Obviously, the draft happened. Outside of that, an interesting thing, Matt Martin is now the assistant to the GM.
Wait. He's what?
He's the one. He's going to get coffee. He's getting coffee.
Dwight Schrute?
Yeah.
Oh man.
He is. Matt is now coffee boy until Chris Lamoriello's contract is finally gone. He'll probably. I get the feeling that they're bringing him in. He's really learning the role. I get the feeling that that he'll probably move in and take over the AHL GM at some point. It seems like, but right now he's the assistant, so he's kind of just doing all the learnings. But he's a really well liked guy, and in the organization, obviously more than just a Lou guy, because he was with the Islanders before Lou came on. And so I think a bigger thing coming back to the Island was not because of Lou, but because there was a lot of mutual interest. And he's obviously interested in a role in the front office, and the front office is interested in him. So hey, can't go wrong there, right? Like everyone seems to be happy about that on the island, and we'll see what happens with him. In the meantime, in terms of July 1st, lots of things going on. Alex Romanov re-signed for a pretty long deal, 6.25 over 8 years. So he signed the full 8-year deal. I think Romanov's been our best defenseman the last year, and then even the previous year he stepped up a ton. I think Dobson was really the number 1 2 years ago, and then this year Romanov was just kind of super solid everywhere. He doesn't have the numbers offensively. He's not the offensive mover, but he just does everything so well defensively. I'm hoping that that he really stays. Obviously, plays well the rest of his time with us. He's young. He's only 25, so it's not like he'll get the most of the front 5 years that he's under 30. So that's a good step there. Interesting parts of the rest of the July 1st. We signed Jonathan Drouin, which was a shock to me. $4 million for 2 years, which is going to be interesting to see where he fits in and how that's going to work out. But power play can't be worse with him on it, right? He's a power play guy. We need power play help, and he'll be an interesting spot in the top 6. We re-signed Tony DeAngelo for a year. No surprise there. He played real well with Romanov. He'll probably start the year with Romanov as our on the right side. We don't have a lot of right hand depth, so that's going to be a big help there. And I felt like Tony played really basically the same as Dobson last year in terms of just in terms of what they provide. He's better on the power play, in my opinion, just because I don't think Dobson's that great on the power play. I've watched enough of him, but he only costs 1.75, so can't go wrong, right? We'll see.
Can't go wrong.
He's an Island guy. We all know his history. We'll see how it works. They signed Matt Barzal's best friend, AHL fodder Ethan Bear. Never heard of him. Turns out, I guess he was his best man's wedding. He's all like, they're best buds, whatever. He's going to be an AHL. Simon Holmstrom resigned for 3.6 for 2 years. Interesting to see how he'll do. He played pretty well last year. Hard to say if he's top 6 or bottom 6. I think he last year really played himself up into like this second line role pretty well. And we'll see if he can play himself into a bigger contract. Hard to say right now. That might be his ceiling. So they didn't go. I like the deal. Wasn't a lot of money. Only a couple of years. They signed Emil Hyman for 2 years at 1.1. He's the guy we got from Montreal, third, fourth liner. And Mark Gatacombe re-signed for 1 year. He was notably the guy that scored 2 goals in the for the Isles in the game that Ovi scored only 1 goal, but for no particular reason. But fourth liner. Six, was it 12th, 13th, forward kind of guy. And the last thing, the Isles won the Shabanov sweepstakes. Maxim Shabanov, chose the Isles over a few teams, Flyers, Rangers, and I forgot what the other team was. All teams with like prominent Russians on them. So will be interesting to see. He's a short guy, I think 5'8", 5'9", but he's extremely, skilled. If you watch some of his highlights, he's, got really great mitts and a bunch of highlight reel goals. But, KHL, we'll see. Maybe he's got.
Did he say why?
Opportunity. And
Just
I guess whatever the Isles said to him.
Good lineup. You could slip right in and okay.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt that we have a number of Russians on the team that, Maxim Siplikov didn't re-sign yet, but he filed for arbitration. Isles, offer sheeted him, and he was like, "I want more." So he'll resign, most obviously, and they'll make a deal there. So with Siplikov, Shabanov, Sorokin, and Romanov, and possibly shit, my goalie's fucking you're right, Brian. No, nothing wrong with the short guy.
Sure there is.
I'm looking at our backup goalie. I'm seeing his face right now from Colorado. Why can't I think of his fucking face?
Georgiev?
Georgiev? No, you wouldn't have D'Angelo and Georgiev on the same team.
No.
That would not happen again.
Why my brain just
Samsonov?
No, you guys are gonna. Oh my god, yeah. Varlamov.
It's your fucking goalie. Don't say weird or anything.
I'm just thinking. Brain's not working. I haven't been thinking about hockey for a few days. So what do you want me to do? So yeah, that's it.
I think you threw us all off with the Colorado thing, though. I would have said Varlamov, but I'm thinking, what the hell? What do you mean?
You
Colorado?
clearly said Colorado. Yes.
Yeah, he played Colorado.
He played Colorado.
Varley played in Colorado. He played for what?
He did. He sure did. I
was
agreeing with you.
Yeah. Okay. So
I wasn't saying like your Russian guy's going to be like Vitaly Kravtsov. I wasn't saying that.
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll see. We'll see what else happens. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too speculative. So at this point, it's like the end of the season. Let's just wrap this thing up. But there's a lot of forwards on the team now. They got to start making some decisions because they've signed a bunch of guys. So be interesting to see what the trick camp looks like and who's there and how they play and what they do with some of these guys. But I feel like going to be another year where I don't know how they're going to make the playoffs. And I don't know how they're going to be a bad team. They're going to be exactly the same team as last year. So it'll be interesting to watch how they're going to work this out. Anyway,
Maybe.
That's the Isles for this year. We'll talk about them camp.
That'll bring us to the New York Rangers. And listen, Drury had things he needed to do in this offseason in order to change this roster as he promised. But there was some business that had to get done prior to that before you can do anything. And that was signing Will Cooley to his new deal. It's a 2-year deal, 4.5 is perfect for a guy like that. I don't think off of one good season, you're not going to bridge and buy out some free agency years. So this to me was always the Rangers' plan to do this 2-year bridge until it gets them to our arbitration rights. And then you look at, buying some years out of free agency. But Cooley's got to do his part on the ice in the next 2 years in order to get to that point. So let's see us get to that point. Another one was revamping the defense, and they have 100% done that. They have kept some of the guys that they made trades for last year with Vakanainen and Susi for now. I can't remember. I can't remember that guy's name.
Varlamov.
No, it wasn't Varlamov. Definitely
Colorado.
was not
Colorado.
Damn it.
But he'll be paired with Schneider again, and the Rangers signed Grabakov. It's gonna be hard for me to say that name. Holy shit! But good defenseman, partner with Adam Fox. more that typical stay-at-home defenseman. He's not going to put up the flashy points, but he's supposedly really, really good in his end for LA. Let's see how that transcribes over to New York. So the defense is definitely revamped from what it was last year. Hopefully it'll be better than what we saw at the end of last year. Be better in front of Shesterkin and Quick, and then up front, you don't do anything. We literally signed some other players that are just going to be kind of like some fillers. I mean, Taylor Radish is probably the biggest name of anybody I'm going to say up until here. That's a third line center role that was presently being occupied by literally nobody. So Taylor Radish will probably fit that third line role, and then you have Christ almighty. Like with Nick, my brain is just completely elsewhere, and I can't remember people's names. But their fourth line center, their fourth line is going to be the same as it was last year, so I'm not really worried about that. So Rangers don't really do anything up front, but the one thing that they had to do was figure out what to do with Keandre Miller. Now, Keandre Miller was a restricted free agent, and for whatever reason, just fell out of sorts. Had a great couple of years, and then the last 2 years have been just inconsistent, to say the least. So are you going to go big on Keandre Miller and invest your future into him, or are you going to move on from him and that's going to be it? And that's what the Rangers did, and they moved on from Keandre Miller, trading him in division to the Carolina Hurricanes for a conditional first, a second, and Morrow, a serviceable defenseman, played a lot in their AHL last year, which will probably start in Hartford this year. So you make the moves, you sign the free agents that you need to sign. I think the Rangers are a better team defensively than they were last year, but I don't think they're better up front than they were last year. I hope they make the playoffs because I think they're more of a team now built for the playoffs. And we'll see. All this sounds great on paper, and everyone's praising Chris Drury for the moves that he made. And, even the draft, they said he has a good draft. Who the fuck knows that he has a good draft? He just got players that were available to him. So we'll see. We'll see how this all unfolds, because I've been through this too many times where you sign all these free agents and the team has playoffs written all over them and they finish dead fucking last in almost the league. So I've been through this too many times with this organization, this team. They should be better defensively, but we'll see. And better defensively is going to mean more wins. So I think they're a playoff team. I don't know.
You ain't going to be last in the division. That I guarantee.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I really do. I don't want to, but I have to agree with you. But man, you still got Crosby, man. I don't think you're going to be last. No, fuck that. You're not going to be last. Somebody else is going to be worse than the Penguins this year in the Metro.
Oh, it ain't going to be the Rangers.
Who's it going to be? I don't know. It's not going to be Columbus. I mean, look, if you look at the Metro, a lot of these teams got better. Columbus improved dramatically.
Somebody's got to take a fall, if they're gonna get down past the Penguins.
But who's going to take the fall? The Devils aren't going to take the fall next year. In fact,
I'm not the one saying that somebody was going to go.
No, I know. But if you looked at it in that regard, and even the Capitals, are the Caps back where they were last year? You can make the argument, but they lost some important pieces. Yeah. So I don't know.
What division is Buffalo in again?
Not the Metro, sadly.
All right.
Not the Metro, sadly. And look, there's still a couple months until September. Trades could still happen. I don't really see that, but you never know. See you in September, and we'll figure it all out then.
Yep.
See you, Devils.
So going back to just before the draft, the Devils had a little salary cap dump in trading Eric Haula to Nashville for a minor league defenseman and a 4th-round pick. The big signing for them this year was Connor Brown from Edmonton. 4 years, $12 million, so $3 million a year. And Evgeny Dadonov from Dallas, right wing, bottom six players, which is he's looking to rebuild that bottom six. I guess the hope is just that Bratt, Heischer, and Hughes can stay healthy, and we've got the KHL's one of the better players in the KHL that the Devils have drafted coming over this year. He just signed a 1 year entry level deal, I guess, because of his age. It can only be he could have it be only 1 year. So we'll see if he can slide into the main roster and grab that top six wing spot that they desperately need to fill. Outside of that, there was a little bit of, I think, gamesmanship on Fitzgerald's part in saying that he wasn't going to tender Cody Glass and which would make him an unrestricted free agent. But at the last minute, they re-signed him. They re-signed Jake Allen to a very team-friendly per-year deal. I mean, it is a 5-year deal. That's a lot.
Yeah,
but $1.8 million is fantastic. Everybody was super excited about that. Everybody except for Nico Dawes, who now doesn't have a spot. Either they're going to carry 3 goalies or they got to risk losing him through waivers. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that out if they just keep him up on the main roster throughout the year.
They're never going to carry 3 goalies.
It's not a lot of money.
Ever.
It's not a lot of money, but I mean, otherwise you risk losing him. I mean, at this point, since you re-signed Allen, long term, he's not going to be. He's not in the picture, right? The Devils have a star goalie in the pipeline. He's playing in college right now. Who Jake Allen will eventually be backing up by the end of this contract. I feel like this guy, Mikhail, will be playing NHL at the NHL level by then. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out at the end of this contract. Other than that, they didn't tender Nolan Foote, so he became a free agent. And the other interesting thing Fitzgerald did was he said he was waiting. This was on July 2nd. He said he was waiting until after the holiday weekend to start conversations with Hughes' agent, which basically took them out of the running for anybody because they didn't know how much money they were going to have left over, if any, to spend on any other free agents.
Yeah, but I think they had a pretty general idea of what they were going to spend on him, though, on Luke. They knew what they wanted to pay him. Let's just say that.
They knew what they wanted to pay him, but is that in the way of a bridge deal or is that in the way of an 8-year deal? Right? So I think there were things there that if you would have figured that out first, you could have then known how to play your next hand. But I thought that was interesting. Obviously, it took them out of the running for Eller, which would have been a nice fit on that wing, and then Gritzlack could have been down at the bottom of the roster, the bottom 6 coming into the NHL. But we will see how it plays out. Now it's just a matter of, are they going to find somebody to take Palat? Are they going to find somebody to take Hamilton? Are they going to use long-term injured reserve for Kovacevic? Because he might not be back till around Christmas time. All these chips need to fall into place before they can move forward. And that's it in a nutshell for the Devils.
What do you want to give Luke Hughes? What would you give him?
8 years, 8.5.
Oh, my God.
And I think he will be drastically underpaid in year 2.
Hey, he's only 21, almost 22.
But now you need to save money because if Quinn hits unrestricted free agency or if that trade ever materializes, you need to have room to now absorb that into the cap.
You'll find ways to do that. I'm not worried about that with his contract.
I mean, that's, to say, hey, Vancouver, we'll give you Dougie Hamilton. We'll take Quinn. It's not, it's not a 1-for-1. Obviously, you're going to have to throw in other things, but that $9.5 million coming off the books is would slot in well for Quinn coming over.
I had a real hard time giving a 21-year-old 8 times 8.
Why?
Their body hasn't matured yet, and he's injury prone already. So I'm getting a little scared because of his brother. I'm getting.
Do you think he's going to get worse?
He was a -9. He's a -37 for his career. I don't think he's going to be worse than that. I think he'll be better than that next year defensively because
So you're not.
He should be evolving his body over the summers, right?
You're not
until
paying
you're
for
25,
what he's done.
26.
You're not paying for what he's done.
That.
You're paying for what he's going to do.
Trust me, I understand that. I do. There's got to be for me. I would want another deal before I gave him the 8 times whatever it's going to be. If it's 8 times 10, then great, no problem. But I would like a 4 by 6.
Yeah, but in 4 years, it's not 8 times 8. It's not 8 times 10. It's going to be 8 times 12.
Maybe
if he develops,
could be 8 times 6.
More than that,
right? But I think it I think I'm a Rangers fan, and I know I'm a Rangers fan. And I think that's why I think this way. I think that's why I think this way because
you don't think your guys are going to develop.
I don't trust the youth to develop into anything. There's a handful of guys that have done it on the Rangers. That's it. Handful. There's a handful of guys that have done it on the Devils. Is Luke part of that? I don't know. I'm nervous about doing that. Very nervous about giving 8 times 8 right now.
I wouldn't be. I think all signs point to the fact that, again, like you're saying, as soon as his body fills out, and
I had the same problem with Jack.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the exact same argument. I feel like you two had when Jack was coming up for that contract.
You can't be scared that they're going to get hurt because they're going to get hurt.
The problem is though. But what was Luke's injury? It was a separated shoulder. Shoulder.
Yeah.
Same as Jack.
Yeah.
Listen, you're all in on the Hughes brothers. If you didn't give him
no doubt
the deal, that's not going to sit well with Jack anyway. They've made their bed. They're going to get it can work out great.
Yeah, they are in the Hughes business. They are. 100%. That's it. You're in the Hughes business. You can't.
100%.
It's manifest destiny. Yeah. Quinn's going to be there at some point.
All right. So we're going to jump in because we have a new CBA. Did you know that? I hope you did.
We don't have shit.
No, we don't have anything. The NHL has a new CBA. I'm going to touch on a couple of things. I think we're going to split this between here and whenever we do the next episode. But some interesting things. Increased regular season games going from 82 to 84, which means 2 less preseason games. And in the preseason games, there's you're only allowed, if you're a veteran, you're only allowed to play 2 of the 4 games. And there's a lot of interesting rules to give these younger players an opportunity to show what they can do. Always love those preseason games for that.
Useless.
Contracts are getting reduced. So contract lengths, if you're re-signed by your current team, it's now 7 years and not 8. And if it's a team you didn't play and you're a free agent, it's a 6-year deal, not a 7-year deal. And I think the biggest thing for us is that LTIR loophole is now closed when it comes to the playoff salary cap. And I got to applaud the NHL for doing this. The salary cap, you have to be cap compliant for your playoff games. Fucking love this more than anything else in the world. That means you can sit in Evan Carlson one night and fucking have somebody else come in. So you can have 2 $10 million guys in your playoff lineup. And
fuck
just
Tampa, fuck Chicago, fuck Las Vegas. That's what they said.
And fuck Tampa too. Tampa was also.
I did say Tampa twice.
I thought you said Chicago and Vegas. I'm sorry.
No, he said Tampa before.
Tampa, yeah.
My bad. My bad. But it's. I'm so happy we don't have to go through a strike or a fucking holdout or anything else like that. We have how many years of labor pieces? This is 4 or 6, somewhere in that range.
It's into 2031, I think.
Pieces
doing a
till
phenomenal
at least
job.
2030.
Yeah.
So Listen, Bettman can't tell jokes at the draft to save his fucking life, but this CBA is really good. I got to give the players and the owners a lot of credit. They did a good job on this CBA. Good for them.
The 6 years is interesting, right? Because there's that whole issue, like if you sign a contract over your 35 age and then you get hurt, it still counts against the cap. You can't, right?
Well, yeah, the cap recapture is still there, isn't it?
Right, but I'm saying now if you're a free agent, you sign that 6-year deal, right? At 28, it's only going to take you to 34.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to get another big contract.
You're going to get another big contract, right?
Yeah.
And with a year of they can bury you and not be penalized.
Now, how old is Brad Marchand's 36, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he just sign a 5-year fucking contract with Florida? How is this not going to be a cap recapture? When I saw the deal, it's the first thing I thought of.
I think they're not worrying about it. They're worried about next. They're worried about a three-peat. They're not worried about 2029.
Yeah. 6-year deal. 6-year deal, not 5.
6-year deal.
What is it like to not have to worry about shit like that and just having to worry about winning your 3rd cup in a row?
He's 37, by the way.
Oh, sorry, 37 and signed a
37.
And he's in spectacular condition.
So he'll be 43 by
Here
then.
you're getting fatter.
Yeah, I don't know about after the last couple weeks if he's in that good a shape anymore. He might need some recovery time from what I saw. Exactly. All right, let's go to the weekly
This is the wrong
WTF.
bell.
All right. This is going to be. I'm just too lazy to move on from this premise in the last weeks of the season. So another this or that, or one of the others this time. This is the draft edition. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the top picks. Let's just jump in. You'll figure it out better than me. First overall. So these guys were all number 1 overall picks, and we got to pick between the number 1 overall picks. And guys like Gretzky, Messier are not going to be on this. Guys that came over from whatever that other league is.
This is the easiest. This is the easiest one of them all.
Well, I don't think this is one of them. This is the cover screen, I think.
No, this is first overall.
No.
This is your first overall pick.
First overall. And
yeah. It's Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, or Mario Lemieux.
Is this who do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario. It's
That's
not even.
question.
There's not even a question.
Mario.
Second
It's
best
not
ever.
even a debate.
Forward. Come on.
Now let me ask you a question there, Tom. Let me ask you a question. You a little nervous with his injury history? You're going to take him even though of his injury history?
Yeah, he still ended up being what? 4th in points all time.
But he's he's got
2 cups. Yeah,
prone injury.
Yeah,
He's going to miss a season because of cancer.
Couple cups. I'm all right with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be all right with that.
All right, so now we get the premise. Second overall, guys, we got Marcel Dion, Evgeny Malkin.
What the fuck, Bill? How is Capo Caco not in this?
Guy Lafleur or Brendan Shanahan? I was actually thinking I would get more out of number 2.
I'm going Guy Lafleur. No offense to anybody else on that list, but I just feel like
I got to be a homer and take Gino.
Overall game, he's
He was pretty good, man. I don't know. I'll go Marcel.
Oh my god.
Shanny's got Tom.
You did? Hokey. Brendan Shanahan.
Wow.
We each got one of those. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Third overall, we got Mr.
Christ.
Draisaitl.
Oh, Christ.
Also, you're a fucking asshole.
What?
Duh.
Why? What?
I noticed.
What happened?
Jersey.
I noticed what's missing here is the players aren't really being shown in the jersey for the team that drafted them.
Is that?
Oh, well,
Timu?
I'm just looking up.
Scott.
just looking at-
Scott? Who's that? Who's that guy?
The
I'm gonna
second
go
best
Scott
said
number
Niedermeyer.
Niedermeyer.
7 in Devils history.
I'm gonna go Scott Niedermeyer, I think.
Is that Gabrick, by the way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Jonathan Taves.
Mm.
Well, I'm taking Taves.
Taves because he has championships. It would be Draisaitl.
So does Scott Niedermeyer won 4 cups. He won every single major trophy there is.
You making that up?
No, he won juniors. He won Stanley Cup, gold medal,
how many
world
Stanley Cups did he win?
championships.
Yeah, I mean, he took the Ducks' places for sure.
Fuck off. Scott Niedermeyer was actually the first player in hockey history to have won all of the major championships.
Mm-hmm.
Are you done?
So put that in your pipe and stick it up your ass.
As much as I love Marion Gabrick,
I suck.
It's Jonathan Taves.
Yeah.
Loser.
All right. 4th overall, Mike Gartner, Steve Yzerman, Ron Francis, Paul Correa. I feel like I would have took this one 2nd overall or 3rd overall.
Yeah,
This is
really.
Good list.
Oh,
EPY, Paul Correa.
I mean Stevie Y.
Stevie
Wise
Y,
might be-
yeah.
Hard to
Stevie
say
Y.
no to.
Yeah.
I Gartner. Yeah, Stevie Y.
Yeah. I'd really like to take Francis, but yeah, gotta agree there. 5th overall, I think this one's pretty
Yeah.
easy.
Phil, for sure. Phil
Wait,
Kessel, or Phil Kessel
Yager
all
fifth.
day long.
Who's
A
the last guy?
dog,
Who's
a
the Caps
dog,
guy?
a diggity dog.
Well, is the last guy is another guy not shown
Scott
in the
Stevens.
jersey he was more famous for.
Yeah,
But wait, do you want the one that he's drafted in or that he's more famous for?
Well,
You
I'm
keep switching
saying
it up on me here.
consistency would be nice.
Well, there is a
This is-
consistency. He's not in the Devils
This
jersey.
this is Jaromir Yager.
Duh.
It's Yager's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
God.
I mean,
Yager
come on.
slide.
Come
I
on,
mean,
that
Kessel's
was-
pretty close 2nd, but
It'd been hilarious if you put like Yager in every jersey. In this one.
The pictures would have been so small you wouldn't have been able to see who it was.
okay, 6th pick. Got Paul Coffey, Phil Housley, Matthew Tkachuk, or Peter Forsberg.
This
I'm going
stuff
to
is
take
actually
Coffey as one of the all-time defensemen.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I just don't want to be the first one to say it.
I would take Forsberg, I think.
I think so too, man. I think
Can't go
Forsberg
wrong
was
with Peter Forsberg.
so good. What a beast.
And he got that little Tkachuk guy's got a couple of cups now too.
Kachuk could be the guy in a couple of years. Maybe going, it was obviously Kachuk.
I'm pretty surprised. Is this is when they were drafted?
Yeah. These guys were 6. These guys were all 6s. Okay, number 7s. Quinn Hughes. God, I gotta remember who some of these guys were.
Yeah.
Fedorko's the guy in the Blues. Shifley and Jason Arnott. We start to get.
Arnott.
Yeah.
I'm taking
sensitive
Quinn Hughes
here.
personally, but
Quinn, yeah, for sure.
yeah, we're starting to fade here at number 7.
Yeah, I was going to Shafley here, but
Well, no, this is just
So Shifley's a good pick.
to Tom
both
and
really
Nick's
good.
point. Once you get after 5, it's a
Yeah.
crapshoot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take Quinn.
All right.
Orr and Hughes. Interesting. Or no, Coffee and Orr. Coffee and Quinn.
It's not a bad pairing.
No.
8th pick. We got Jeremy Roenick, Ray Bork, Daryl Sittler, Grant Fior.
Yeah, it's Ray Bork
Bork.
every day.
It's going to be a very offensive defenseman heavy team. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I guess that's where you find the defenseman.
Yeah.
That's really where it's at.
First goalie on the list, right?
No.
Yep.
Carey
Oh
Price.
no, there was okay.
Oh yeah, true. Carey Price. Yeah, it was my own list and I forgot. 9th, Rod Brindamore, Cam Neely,
All right.
Joe
really.
Newendike.
Seriously. It's
Ryan
fun to do it to
Leach.
Steve. It's fun to do it to Steve. All right?
What?
Not to anybody else. Ass fuck.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. No, you did you?
Cam Neely, baby. Give me Cam Neely.
Come on, give me Rod the Bod. Rod the Bod. Let's do it.
Brian
I'm
Leach.
taking Leach. I'm taking a lot of defensemen in this draft. All right, and then our 10s. We go to our 10s.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
so which of our 10s?
I wish I could remember her name to impress you.
Oh, okay, so left to right, we got Nicole.
I
Brent
think
Fox,
Brian needs to
Presley
change.
or Foxy.
Brian needs to change his comments now.
Presley.
Presley's a good one.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
always
who's the
go with
one,
Red
who's,
Fox.
who's the redhead next to her though? Looks fun.
Red Fox. That's the one that was biting her.
Oh,
lip
that's
a
that's
couple
the
weeks
one.
ago. Yeah, that's the one.
Same one.
Yeah.
Bill kind of recycles the same.
There's a recurring theme with her.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and that's our top 10 in the draft. So that is the end. Oh, I redeemed myself.
There you go, Brian.
Woo!
This is
Got it just
terrible.
under the wire.
This is the best.
Just under the wire.
You gotta hang on. This is why you gotta listen to the whole podcast. You never know.
Ever know. And if we had another, if we did this on 2 different weeks, then I would have done this with free agents, but maybe that's one that I'll do another time.
Can't wait. Yeah,
Ah!
we don't need to see
It's
that.
just Tom. What happened?
No, I wanted to see that.
Ah,
I hit the wrong
there you
button.
go.
Ooh, this is much better.
Yeah, that is yeah. Oh, who did that? Shame on you.
Wasn't me.
Ah!
I don't have control.
All right. Let's go to this date and Steve's stomach. This is gonna bring us to the year of our Lord 2023. You got a little
You like this?
that's
This
interesting.
was a dollar store discount.
Wow. Dollar store discount. Wait, hold
Dollar
Big
store
spender.
planner. They don't spend
I
a lot
get
of
it.
money on the cover art.
I gotta get the date for you. Hang on. Please take us to September 7, 2023.
September 7th, 2023 was a Thursday. Breakfast was a protein bar
Giggity.
and a can of Coke Zero. Lunch was a ham and Swiss from Pierre's Deli with a 20-ounce Coke Zero. Dinner was leftover Pizza Hut and a can of Coke Zero. Tom, why did you pick Thursday, September 7th in the year 2023?
Well, that was the day that Florida man was arrested after trying to cross the Atlantic Ocean in a human-powered hamster wheel. I'm quite shocked I didn't hear about this. And I live in Florida, and I didn't hear about this. This is brought to you by NBC News, so I know that at least it is legit. A Florida man who was trying to cross the Atlantic Ocean in a human-powered hamster wheel was arrested by the Coast Guard, according to court documents. Reza Baluchi was, get this, 70 miles off the coast. You want to see what he was fucking going
Yes,
across
That's
the
pretty
Atlantic in?
that's what I'm fucking here for.
You got to see it. There it is. And that is what our friend tried to cross the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh
in.
no! Wonder Wheel! No! Wonder
Exactly.
Wheel! Somebody!
That's exactly what I thought of.
Oh, damn.
Goddamn. Son of a bitch. No Wonder Wheel.
Why is this against the law?
Well, 70 miles off the coast of Georgia when officers found him during a manifestly unsafe voyage while Hurricane Franklin was heading toward the area, the Coast Guard said Wednesday in a statement on the Facebook. The Coast Guard said the vessel was afloat as a result of wiring and buoys. Baluchi was arrested August 28th after a bizarre 3-day standoff with authorities. At one point, Baluchi, who refused to get off the vessel, displayed 2 knives and threatened to hurt himself. Hurt yourself, dude. If officers boarded, according to files. Also, he also threatened to blow himself up. At which point, the Coast Guard officers on site contacted the Navy to determine the location of the alleged bomb. You can't say bomb in a
You
hamster
can't say
wheel.
bomb in a fucking Wonder Wheel. What are you doing?
Balducci told the Coast Guard crew that he was trying to travel to London in his hydropod vessel. Yeah.
Couldn't take any more of that Biden, right? Am I right?
Balducci is charged with obstruction of boarding. What the fuck
I
is
suck.
that? Yeah, court filings show he signed the condition of bond for $250,000. His attorney has been ordered to appear, according to filings. He will use the public defender, by the way. Oh boy, this guy should really get a fucking real fucking lawyer, dude.
Where did he leave from in Florida, or did he leave from Georgia?
Probably from Jacksonville, I would have to assume. I don't know where he's from, nor did it say where he was from in the article.
I ain't fucking leaving.
That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. They didn't show an image of the guy either, which is very unfortunate.
Odd
And
he only had
names.
two names.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Well, listen, that's what happened September 7th, 2023.
70 miles off Georgia. Did it say
And
off
that
of
fucking
Georgia?
thing did you walk that thing or do you use both? I mean, it would be
No, I would think
very
it's double.
challenging. But listen, he gets off the coast, but he doesn't read like.
Okay, it's a weird comment.
What was that? Who was that?
Comment on the.
Damn.
Gotta
China.
share them all.
Yeah, a bot. Wow.
China
Look at
contacting
that.
us.
Don't eat a
I
cock,
hope so.
Linda.
That's what I have to say to them.
But 70 miles off the coast? That's pretty fucking far, man.
Pretty far.
It's impressive.
But he didn't read the weather. He didn't look at the weather report before he left to know that a fucking hurricane was
Tom,
coming.
he was ready to
Maybe
hurt
he should have
himself.
passed Pole.
He was ready to hurt himself with a knife.
Yeah,
Clearly, he wasn't right ahead.
And when is there ever not a hurricane somewhere?
It was called Hurricane Franklin. I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's kind of racist. Kind of racist to name it after the only black peanut. I don't like that at all.
How did you not save that for your final comment?
Derailed.
Another season in the books for the Friends of Rivals podcast. We are going to enjoy our summer now and enjoy the quiet and peacefulness. Bill, go ahead. Do your
I'm
thing.
going to do it. I'm not going to miss out on this again.
I will have a big announcement
Ooh.
for episode 1. Might not be the best news for everybody. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay.
It might
What?
make some people upset. That's all I'm going to say. Might make
provocative.
some people upset.
On episode 1?
Episode 1 of season 6, I will have a big announcement.
Big announcement.
Big announcement.
Wow.
What is the
This
announcement?
is a season-ending cliffhanger.
I can't
Holy
fucking tell you.
shit.
It's a cliffhanger, you asshole. If I tell you now, there's no
Come here.
cliffhanging.
No, just do this,
Just
and they can't
cover
hear
up.
you. Yeah,
No.
just do this. They can't
Listen,
hear you.
look, I'll tell you off air, okay?
All right, that's fine. That works.
Like-
That's better.
I'm not telling you off air.
What? Oh man. God damn it. I just hope next season's not an Icelanders season. Ugh.
I can't imagine
I
it.
hope,
It will be.
you
You got time.
All right. Hopefully we finish the podcast before that happens.
After this podcast will cease to exist when the Islanders have 3 wins in the Stanley Cup final. That will be that episode will be the last
quit.
episode.
It might break Tom if the Isles won the cup.
Would that be the worst, Tom? Like obviously the Penguins.
No, Flyers.
Oh wow.
Flyers would be the
Flyers?
worst. The Flyers would be absolutely the worst. The Islanders would be a close
Fuck the
second.
Flyers. Ugh.
Fuck
the
Flyers. They ain't
Flyers.
fucking winning anytime soon.
Yeah, but
No,
they're shit.
fuck
Yeah.
them. Not with guys named fucking Zurley fucking whatever faggot. I didn't say that.
The secret is written on this card right here.
What the?
Put
Turn
it
it
in
around.
the book.
Turn it around. Turn it
Put it in
around.
the-
Quick.
Gotta be really quick.
Wow.
I'm
No.
from Erie, PA. Gotta be really quick. Get on YouTube when the episode is live, and you could pause it and see if you could read it.
Brian brings up a really good point, though.
It's not one person.
You're cliffhanging one guy.
It's 4 people because you 3 don't know it too. So it's 4 people in total.
Ay, ay, ay.
Why would he do this to us? Why would he hold this over our head for an entire offseason?
I don't know. He also
So
thinks
it's-
that we
it's-
care.
It's July 7th. We will probably reconvene September
17th,
whatever that week is.
roughly
So
in there,
about,
middle of September.
about 2.5 months.
All right, I forgot it already. Sounds great. Sounds good to me.
Jeez, there's going to be Christmas stuff in Home Depot by the time we hear this.
I suck.
No, there already is. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like Target had all the back to school stuff out, and as soon as they're done with back to school stuff, that kids go back to school in August in Florida, Christmas stuff comes out right after that.
Oh, come on. There's still Halloween.
Don't do
There's
Halloween?
still Thanksgiving.
No.
They have their Halloween section, but in the back they have the holiday lights already selling.
Because you people put them up all year round.
Yeah, everybody's doing it.
Losers.
Again, I was just ahead of my time. That's it. I'm always ahead of my time.
Go, Sean.
That's right.
I'm not leaving.
No. We are leaving. That's it. We're done. Thanks for the support that you show us on YouTube, Twix, Facebook, wherever the hell we do. Twitch, whatever it is. Love you guys. Brian, see you tomorrow. Peace out. Billy, say something witty.
Okay, keep doing it. Yeah.
Your mom's box.